Never put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Never trouble another for what you can do yourself. Never spend your money before you have it. Never buy what you do not want, because it is cheap, it will be dear to you. Pride costs us more than hunger, thirst, and cold. We never repent of having eaten too little. Nothing is troublesome that we do willingly. How much pain have cost us the evils which have never happened. Take things always by their smooth handle. When angry, count 10, before you speak, if very angry, 100. I cannot live without books. Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask. Act. Action will delineate and define you. I predict future happiness for Americans, if they can prevent the government from wasting the labors of the people under the pretense of taking care of them. Honesty is the first chapter of the book Wisdom. The legitimate powers of government extend to such acts only as are injurious to others. It does me no injury for my neighbor to say there are 20 gods or no God. It neither picks my pocket nor breaks my leg. The man who reads nothing at all is better educated than the man who reads nothing but newspapers. I sincerely believe that banking establishments are more dangerous than standing armies, and that the principle of spending money to be paid by posterity, under the name of funding, is but swindling futurity on a large scale. On matters of style, swim with the current; on matters of principle, stand like a rock. The most valuable of all talents is that of never using two words when one will do. The most valuable of all talents is that of never using two words when one will do. We in America do not have government by the majority. We have government by the majority who participate. I would rather be exposed to the inconveniences attending too much liberty than to those attending too small a degree of it. I would rather be exposed to the inconveniences attending too much liberty than to those attending too small a degree of it. History, in general, only informs us what bad government is. I have observed, indeed, generally, that while in Protestant countries the defections from the Platonic Christianity of the priests is to deism, in Catholic countries they are to atheism. Diderot, D'Alembert, D'Holbach, Condorcet, are known to have been among the most virtuous of men. Their virtue, then, must have had some other foundation than the love of God. Letter to Thomas Law, June 13, 1814. Nothing gives one person so much advantage over another as to remain always cool and unruffled under all circumstances. Determine never to be idle. No person will have occasion to complain of the want of time, who never loses any. It is wonderful how much may be done, if we are always doing. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. It is the great parent of science and of virtue, and that a nation will be great in both, always in proportion as it is free. Our liberty depends on the freedom of the press, and that cannot be limited without being lost. Nothing can now be believed which is seen in a newspaper. Truth itself becomes suspicious by being put into that polluted vehicle. I, however, place economy among the first and most important republican virtues, and public debt as the greatest of the dangers to be feared. Bigotry is the disease of ignorance, of morbid minds; enthusiasm of the free and buoyant. Education and free discussion are the antidotes of both. Yet the hour of emancipation is advancing. This enterprise is for the young, for those who can follow it up, and bear it through to its consummation. It shall have all my prayers, and these are the only weapons of an old man. The two principles on which our conduct towards the Indians should be founded, are justice and fear. After the injuries we have done them, they cannot love us. The expedition of Messrs. Lewis and Clark for exploring the river Missouri, and the best communication from that to the Pacific Ocean, has had all the success which could have been expected. I agree with you that it is the duty of every good citizen to use all the opportunities, which occur to him, for preserving documents relating to the history of our country. I had rather be shut up in a very modest cottage with my books, my family and a few old friends, dining on simple bacon, and letting the world roll on as it liked, than to occupy the most splendid post, which any human power can give. Whenever the people are well informed, They can be trusted with their own government, that whenever things get so far wrong as to attract their notice, they may be relied on to set them to rights. I have often thought that nothing would do more extensive good at small expense than the establishment of a small circulating library in every county, to consist of a few well-chosen books, to be lent to the people of the country under regulations as would secure their safe return in due time. Our particular principles of religion are a subject of accountability to our God alone. I inquire after no man's in trouble, none with mine, nor is it given to us in this life to know whether yours or mine, our friends or our foes, are exactly the right. There is no act, however virtuous, for which ingenuity may not find some bad motive. When angry, count 10 before you speak, if very angry, 100. Nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal, nothing on earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude. When angry, count to 10 before you speak. If very angry, count to 100. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The care of human life and happiness, and not their destruction, is the first and only object of good government. Experience hath shown, that even under the best forms of government those entrusted with power have, in time, and by slow operations, perverted it into tyranny. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Every government degenerates when trusted to the rulers of the people alone. The people themselves are its only safe depositories. I never considered a difference of opinion in politics, in religion, in philosophy, as cause for withdrawing from a friend. But friendship is precious, not only in the shade, but in the sunshine of life, and thanks to a benevolent arrangement the greater part of life is sunshine. A Bill of Rights is what the people are entitled to against every government, and what no just government should refuse, or rest on inference. I believe that every human mind feels pleasure in doing good to another. Do not bite at the bait of pleasure, till you know there is no hook beneath it. Question with boldness even the existence of a God, because, if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason, than that of blindfolded fear. I'm a greater believer in luck, and I find the harder I work the more I have of it. We in America do not have government by the majority. We have government by the majority who participate. I had rather be shut up in a very modest cottage with my books, my family and a few old friends, dining on simple bacon, and letting the world roll on as it liked, than to occupy the most splendid post, which any human